everyone receive is a reflection of it.
Welcome. Some interesting areas of progression within my own mind, you might say. Trying to identify the manifestations. See, the other day, I felt the energy is quite strong. I cried again. It's just that feeling of hardship, trying to not make things work, but you believe so much that you're purging all of those bottled up frustrations. The areas of lack you might say that are not supposed to be there. We remove them and have the need to get rid of. See, there are things that get under our skin, and it's how we handle them. How do you react? Is there still anger or hatred or fear or these sorts of things? So there's always going to be those moments, and I think by identifying them and transmuting them, we learn to overcome them. It doesn't mean that they don't exist. It just means that you're able to squash it, basically, rather than react to it. Is have fun with it. See it as a positive outcome. Even trying to record this brought upon 2 tries before with interference. You see, the importance of today is astounding. I was listening to Rion, and some of the messages hit home about my own manifestation of abundance, or at least how I was envisaging it. You see, we're all there to teach ourselves and remind us that we must see or visualize the areas that we wish to have in our life. And as he said, you smell the flowers that you want to plant in your garden. You see the colors. Many people talk about it. You place yourself in the environment and the energy that it connects to. And see, so my ideas of my own manifestations, things that made me happy, that brought a smile to my face, being able to do the artworks and the paintings and the audio and healing and crystals and all those sorts of things. Even with my partner having an area for family. All of this was linear in its thinking. Not because of I wasn't sharing or being humanitarian based, but it was too small. My ideas, my visualization was too small, too linear in its thinking, still about self. And I started thinking bigger. It was more about community, building a community, and this ties into me letting go and jumping out of your comfort zone. So we have all of these financials and abundance coming. And the volume and how much is there will be plenty. But you see, I was limiting myself to a small area or a small portion when I needed to be thinking more community. An area where we can place maybe 30 houses, buying acreage or land, whether it's close to the sea or in the forest by a stream, having so much room where you can build and create a community, a group of farmers and people who want to grow and muster cattle. We want architects and designers to build certain things, accountants to handle all the money and the ins and outs. We need electricians and architects and painters and musicians. This is what building society and community is about. But you see, we'll have tennis courts and a gym to go to. If you see, my own personal gym will be in my own house because that's me. That's what I manifest for me, but I also need to think community, and you see, this is what I got from Rion. That it isn't just about myself in here. That is what I envisage for me, the area that I need, but why not have a large enough space that you can purchase and acquire and build these things with other people? Have that community garden, that community tennis court. People stay in the houses that you provide for them. They don't have to pay for rent or mortgages or electricity, but the funding and the financials that we get from the things that we do, then we help build our community, and it goes back into it. This is what it's about. Building all of those communities up and thriving. See, that is the type of community I want to live in, where you love your neighbor and you spend time with them and appreciate who they are. There's no mention of race or color or diversity or religion. It doesn't matter. We all have that same goal of building ourselves up. Growing fresh food without herbicides and natural remedies. We have healers and we have astrologers. All the people that matter the most to society. Everyone is needed in this place, but it's not just free, it's community free. You're not restricted by government's decisions or all of this sort of stuff. We live in an area that we grow. So you see, my own manifestation of abundance was too linear. It was too small. I needed to think grand scale. Am I a leader? Well, yes. Yes, I am. Will I be a leader and someone to look up to? No. Because we are all equal. We are all there together. Whether I am just able to provide the means for people, that is what I'll do. I don't need to place myself as a prime minister or president or leader of a community. That's where it goes wrong. We're all the same power. We're all equal. We all make it work. So my new community, I am the gardener after all. I would call it the garden. And I have no problem sharing it because could you imagine, welcome to the garden. Imagine living in the garden where everything is just grown. There's cattle, there's animal life, bird life, trees, mangoes, avocados. There's a tennis court to play, ping pong and pinball to have fun. There's rivers and lakes and streams that are built. There's fun and games everywhere. But there's also spiritual learning and enlightenment. Medical pods, we hear about medical beds, but I like to believe in singular pods that one can have. Ailments to things, just connecting to nature. It doesn't have to be a spiritual hippie retreat. No, it's a part of everything. The understanding, the growth, the community. And I think one of the things is, even in my linear thinking, I was too closed off, trying to do it all, not allowing myself to have that help from other people. Even in manifestation of winning 70, 50, 20, however many millions you want to win, we're always guided by, I'll give this person this much. I'll give this person this much. They are linear outcomes to the total value of the money you have. This is not about that. It's about bringing people to an area where they can thrive under the freedom of not having to worry about fear or where the next payment's going to come from. That freedom to allow their family to grow. See, one of the things I've always been an advocate for is free education. I think schooling should be free. I believe the right education is important, and I think that's easily manageable. So why can't all of these things come into fruition? Well, as creator beings, we can. Why isn't it in front of us in our very eyes when we desire the most things and achieve the most? Well, maybe we're not thinking big enough. And as I say this, it's a confirmation from Source that it's not about we don't deserve it. It's not about that we are not worthy. It's just that we're not thinking grand scale. We're not thinking big enough. It's too small, Source says. Think larger, think bigger. We are creator beings that we can manifest and create anything. But when we do so, and we connect to the energy that is associated to community and the feeling of growth together, and how it will feel, how it will smell, how it will look, these are the important factors. And that is what makes everything so much more worth living. And all those hardships that we have gone through and continue to see until these days unfold, it makes it so much more worthwhile and meaningful. So it is with that, I leave you with peace and love. Take care.